What is going on, guys? Bruin Steel here. Welcome back to another WWE broadcast. I'm your host, Bruin Steel, and I am once joined by Canadian Yorker, and today we are recapping the Friday Night Smackdown that took place August 9th, 2024 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And wow, it is the fallout from the SummerSlam Premium Live event, which happened this past weekend in Cleveland, and we are on the road to Bash of Berlin. And Canadian Yorker, how's it going tonight?
I'm doing great today. It's a wonderful day. Can't complain. How are you doing today?
Good, good. I actually want to show you guys something. So, I just got a new WWE custom shirt. So, you're wondering why I'm a little shorter than Canadian Yorker right now. So, the camera view doesn't show my shirt. But now I'm going to review the shirt to you guys. It's a really nice shirt. I actually got two shirts, but one of them I got to pick up. One of them I got. So, basically, this is the shirt. So, let me move it, my camera to angle view. Um, Hopefully that's good. All right, so this is the shirt right here. So basically, it's Roman Reigns holding the title, and it says "Acknowledge me."
All right. It's a
And
nice
on the
shirt.
back, as you can see from the back, it's just this is what it reads. If you guys can see it.
Oh, all right. All right.
Not sure if you guys can see it, but yeah. So that's the shirt. Doesn't it look nice?
It's looking good. It's looking good.
Yeah, our friend Joey's not gonna like this shirt.
Yep.
Alright, so that's a Roman shirt. I was wanting to get one beforehand, but I didn't get a chance. But now, Roman Reigns has returned, and this is a little tribute to his return. So, let's go. You gotta make a shirt of Nia Jax, man.
Oh man, Nia Jax, of course.
Alright, but my other shirt that I made is gonna be a surprise. I'm actually gonna pick it up tomorrow. So when we do our Monday Night Raw broadcast on Tuesday and Wednesday night, I will reveal it to you guys. So, any guess what it might be? So, yes. Alright,
Uh,
so let's move on to this Monday. Let's move on to this Friday Night SmackDown. We start off the show with the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. He asks Oklahoma what they want to talk about. He said the Undisputed Championship is the North Sky of the industry. He said he wants to defend the title. He's been thinking about who he wants to defend his title against at Bash in Berlin. But then he was interrupted. Cody Rhodes was interrupted by Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa said he doesn't care what Cody care about or what the people want to hear. Solo said he wants to talk about SummerSlam. Cody Rhodes, excuse me, Solo said that he should have been champion before Rhodes does or says anything. He will give Solo a rematch. So basically, Solo's blaming Roman Reigns that he didn't become champion. He wants a rematch. Rhodes tells him that he couldn't get the job done on his own and got Jacob Fatu hurt. He said the same SummerSlam where he set Roman Reigns on a warpath because he's cosplaying as Tribal Chief. The same SummerSlam where he got beat in the middle of the ring. And he said that that makes him delusional if he thinks he has any claim to a rematch. And Solo said he's going to beat his ass right now until Cody Rhodes got saved by Kevin Owens, who came into the ring with steel chairs. Solo backs down and said he will deal with Cody later, and he said that he's going to go and find Roman Reigns. The Bloodline leaves, and Cody calls Kevin back and says he doesn't want to be awkward, but he wants to talk about something with him. Um, Cody Rhodes said that he has a feeling that Kevin Owens says no, but said that he hasn't sacrificed the KO that he didn't forget the sacrifices that Kevin Owens made. So Cody basically rewarded, said that he wants to defend his title against Kevin Owens at Berlin in the Bash, but Kevin Owens said he doesn't deserve it. So ending the segment. So what are your thoughts on this opening segment?
Um, Solo's a big crybaby, and he wants a rematch. That's basically what Solo wants. Solo wants a rematch for the World WWE Championship. I have no doubt in my mind that one day Solo will win the WWE Championship someday. Um, but first, he has to deal with his family business with Roman Reigns. And Solo and Roman definitely has to happen sometime in the future because Solo took out everybody that was from the original. He took out everybody that was from the original bloodline. So it makes sense that Solo has to deal with personal business first before he takes on Cody. Um, and so that's the best thing he can do right now. And he has too much on his plate to do with Cody and Roman together, so it'll be too much for him. Um, for Cody definitely needs some sort of new opponent, someone to keep him going. Roman Reigns would be the ideal person. That Roman is now tied up with the bloodline business, so he can't really do much. And Cody wants Kevin Owens. I believe Kevin Owens definitely wants a chance to get the WWE Championship. It's been so long since he had, excuse me, it's been so long since he's had a title. Same with Randy Orton. So both of them, will have the opportunity to do something big and make a change up.
Alright, so moving on to the first match of Friday Night SmackDown, we got a WWE Tag Team Championships number one contenders qualifying match. So it's not number one contenders qualifying match. So the winners will face a little tournament to decide who will face the Bloodline for the tag team titles. So we got A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus the Street Profits, Angelo, Dawkins, and Montez Ford in this first qualifying match. So it went pretty smooth. I just feel bad for the Street Profits because Bobby Lashley is nowhere to be found. My question is he going to come back? If you guys don't know, Bobby Lashley actually got released by WWE. So we could see a Sheamus and Pete Dunne situation where the Street Profits thought that Bobby Lashley walked out on them. Maybe when Bobby Lashley do come back, maybe they're going to start a feud. Kind of just like how AJ Styles turned heel and turned his back on OC. We could see that with Bobby Lashley when he come back. So you never know. But the Street Profits, I still like what they're doing with themselves. They got BFAB with them. I feel like they can do really well without Bobby. In my own opinion, don't get me wrong. They were really really good when Bobby was around, but they seem to do really well when without Bobby. But then Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I'm still waiting for the Theory turn face, but I think it's not going to happen, or it's probably going to happen later on or later on. But this match was pretty good. It went back and forth. But at the end, it was the Street Profits that came through with the blockbuster Doomsday device on Austin Theory. The Street Profits gets the big win, moving on in this mini tournament to qualify for a number one contenders match for the tag team titles. So the winner of the DIY versus Pretty Deadly will face the winner of the Street Profits, and whoever wins that, I guess, faces it off against the Bloodline. So Street Profits gets the job done, and they're moving on in this little tournament. So, what are your thoughts on this match with the Street Profits winning?
I also am waiting for A-Town Down for Austin Theory to turn on Grayson Waller, for Grayson Waller to turn on Austin Theory. That's going to happen at some point. It's just like a crucible. That is a crucible that is waiting to happen. You just need some sort of little ingredient to be thrown in there, and it's just a pressure cooker. It's just building and building and building. Eventually, Austin Theory is going to snap on Grayson Waller, and that's going to happen because Grayson Waller hasn't been. He's just been taking advantage of Austin Theory and everything. And Austin Theory eyes have not been opened yet. His eyes are going to be open pretty soon. Um, I think the Street Profits are um, a great tag team to kind of go head to head with the Bloodline because I mean, right now I'd say the Bloodline is weakened because they don't have Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is the big guy that makes things happen. And ugh, I think the Street Profits definitely need they need a change, man. They need a championship run. But I don't think this is their time to get the championship run, unfortunately, because the Bloodline has it, and the Bloodline needs wins because they need to build up their credibility. So I can definitely see the Street Profits winning the tag team titles again. They definitely have to do it sometime because there's not really a lot of legitimate tag teams. I mean, A Town Down has already won it before. It has to be the Street Profits' time to finally take over and be the tag team champions again.
All right, so moving on. Just want to get this out of the way that Nick Aldis met with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes once again said he doesn't deserve a title, but then Nick Aldis said that he was about to discuss with Roman Reigns for a championship match, and Kevin Owens went off. It seems like the bad blood isn't done with those two, Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. You know the history between these two men. Kevin Owens do not like Roman Reigns, and I believe it's going to continue, babyface or not. As a babyface Roman, I feel like Kevin Owens is still going to hate him. I feel like this is going to lead to Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns having a confrontation. Kevin Owens doesn't give a fuck what Roman is. It's going to lead to a Jey Uso and Kevin Owens situation where they hate each other still. So, but Nick Aldis announced that it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes at the Bash in Berlin. So, what an announcement! And I can definitely sense a Kevin Owens heel turn right here. Kevin Owens is acting like he doesn't want a championship match, but I feel like Kevin Owens is going to turn heel when he loses, or maybe he turns heels before this match. Who knows? But I'm sensing a Kevin Owens heel turn. Um, and then we see Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green have a segment, and I'm just like, why? Don't please. Why are you setting up this feud between Chelsea and Tiffany? I don't want to see this feud. It's not a good feud. Tiffany's just gonna whoop that ass and it's gonna mean nothing. Please don't set this up. Just have Chelsea Green just be a lasting stock and have no matches at all. So that's pretty much it. So, but before I go, any thoughts or anything?
Well, I just want to say that it's good that at least Kevin Owens is getting the tag team. I mean, it's good that Kevin Owens is getting a championship opportunity to become a champion again. And he could be playing it off, saying he doesn't want it. Oh, excuse me. When in reality, he definitely wants a chance to get a championship opportunity. Um, there's like I think he's been wanting this for a long time because Roman Reigns has been holding on to the championship for 3 years, and Kevin Owens obviously has some feelings about that. He obviously doesn't like the fact that Roman held on to it for so long, and you know, I mean, he obviously is not going to like Kevin. He's not going to like Roman. He's not going to like Jimmy. I'd say he's okay with Jay. He's probably not going to like Jay too. So, and Randy Orton is the same. I mean, honestly, he did things to them. It cost them championship opportunities. So, of course, they're going to turn heel. This is going to expect that to happen. Um, and Cody Rhodes, whether Cody Rhodes, I mean, I know we talked about this before. If people are saying online, and some people have been saying this, but some people have been saying it could happen, because Cody would be a heel and, he could turn on people. That could happen. Right now, people love him. So we just have to love him, keep on loving him for what he does. And as for Chelsea Green, honestly, I can see some. Here's my take on this feud between Chelsea and Tiffany. Chelsea Green definitely does not like Tiffany Stratton because Tiffany Stratton was one of the first ones to kick her out of, I think it was a Women's Royal Rumble or something. So of course Chelsea Green is not going to like Tiffany Stratton because of what she's done to her and laughed at her and made fun of her. So it makes sense that there's some so we have this feud. It's of course Tiffany Stratton's gonna win. Um, but at the same time, it is. I would say this is kind of needed at this point because Tiffany does need somebody to feud with. She doesn't really have anyone to feud with right now. So
Alright, so moving on to the next match, we got Jade Cargill going one on one with one half of the women's tag team champions, Alba Fyre. So this was a squash match. Like, I don't understand why. Look, I said this a month ago, saying that Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre needs a push with the championship, but they're just not doing. So far, they haven't really had anything going on with title defenses in terms of the title reign. But right now, it's just not looking good. They look like the Pimper and Chelsea Green 2.0, just losing single matches and just like not defending their titles. Great. It's great that they defended their titles against Jade and Bianca, but they took the easy way out with a disqualification, and their only title defense not didn't even happen on the main roster, where their first title defense, took place on NXT. So, what is Triple H doing with Alba Fire and Isla Dawn? What is the point? I mean, I just don't understand this, but like I just feel like Bianca and Jade could win the titles back, but I don't know. It just hurts me to see that me telling that Alba Fire and Isla Dawn deserves a push, but nothing's been done. Like so far, they've done nothing on SmackDown, and they got drafted to Raw. Great. I was like, they need a push on Raw, but now on Raw they're doing jack shit. So, but then we got Alba Fire and Jade Cargill. It was just too easy for Jade, hitting Jaded with on Alba Fire to get the win. Post match, Blair Davenport, who has aligned herself with Unholy Union. I feel like this is going to be like a faction, attacks the trio of the heels, overwhelming Bianca and Jade. But Naomi makes the save, and the babyface trio sends heels packing. So Naomi reconnecting and returning to save Jade and Bianca. That is going to be a hell of a 6-woman tag team right there. Triple H, you got to book this. Book this right away. Naomi, Jade, and Bianca versus Blair, Alba, and Isla. That's going to be a hell of a 6-woman right there. You got that right there. But what are your thoughts on Jade defeating Alba Fire?
I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. Jade and Bianca are still that strong tag team. They're former champions, and it kind of makes sense that they would win easily over Ilsa Fire and Dawn. And I get it too. It really doesn't make sense for them just to have them as champions, and they're basically pimping them as in Chelsea Green 2.0, like you said, because they're not defending their titles much. We obviously enjoyed. I obviously enjoyed, and you obviously enjoyed Bianca and Jade as tag team champions because they offered more. They actually defended the titles. They were really good, but unfortunately, because of injuries, and it happens, injuries do happen. And to wrestlers, injuries can cost them a championship, and that's what happened. Injuries befell them, and that's what we're all human. We can't defeat, we can't win all the time. Obviously injuries happen, and that's what happened to them. So they lost their tag team championships, um, in a shocking manner. But obviously, I'd say it's on the table for them to win it back because they're obviously in good health, and it's good that Naomi came out and saved them because they definitely needed the help. And there's a lot of things going on there. Naomi's still with them, and that's great. So we got to see more of that going on. And I would love to see Bianca and Jade win the championship back, and Naomi can definitely get another shot at the championship again. That would be wonderful. So we got to see that happen.
Alright, so moving on. We got the new United States champion making his first entrance as United States champion, LA Knight. And he talks about beating LA he talks about he talks about beating Logan Paul. He said that he said that SummerSlam has come and gone, and one question still remains: it had to be feel extra sweet to be a transphobia dickhead and YouTube douchebag, Logan Paul, in his hometown, right? And he said that Logan Paul deserved to get stomped out, get what he deserved, and the only thing he cared about is that he stayed not too long ago and told us we'll call him champ, and at long last we have arrived. And then he gets interrupted by Santos Escobar and Legal Del Fantasma, who LA Knight despise. And, we see Santos Escobar and LA Knight starting a feud. And this is exactly what I said. I didn't really say it, but I kind of knew what was going to happen. We're going to get Santos Escobar versus LA Knight feud right here for the U.S. title. And going back all the way when Santos feud with Rey Mysterio's LWO, Santos Escobar was in line for a United States title match. You know the history between Santos Escobar and the United States Championship way back when he feuded with LWO. I think it was, Santos was supposed to get a shot, but instead he was replaced or whatever, so this is your opportunity to be champion. But LA Knight, we all know LA Knight's going to whoop that sorry ass. So, but we got Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma interrupted LA Knight. Santos congratulated LA Knight and gets in the ring with him, continuing by saying that it's not every day that a guy like LA gets his taste with gold. He says LA Knight as champion, saying he doesn't buy its fleeting moment in the spotlight and ultimately its glory, but its opening act to Escobar's reign. And LA Knight talks about the word deserve. And he said that Santos deserves to break the beat out of him one more time, and setting up the next match. So there is a WWE United States Championship #1 contenders match between Andrade, who has an issue with Santos, and the Legado del Fantasma. We got a United States Championship #1 contenders match between Andrade and Santos Escobar. Before I get into this, any thoughts on that segment between Santos and LA Knight?
I think it's needed. We definitely need. I think it's definitely time to call in. This is actually a good call because we haven't really seen much of Santos and Legado del Fantasma since they feuded with RWO and Rey Mysterio, and I think it's great that Santos is getting some love. He definitely needs more character build up because people don't know who he is, and he's not that famous. So he doesn't have notoriety, a lot of notoriety like Dominic Mysterio does. People don't know who he is. He filled in the place of Dom, but he's no Dominic Mysterio. He's not a very dislikable guy. And so it kind of makes sense that he's feuding with LA Knight too, because LA Knight. He and LA Knight definitely have history, so it makes sense that he definitely wants his title. I can see the reason why he wants his title because let's just say it wasn't stolen from him, but he lost that opportunity to Rey Mysterio because of injuries. He got injured, so it is what it is at the moment. But for the most part, I don't think LA Knight will be dropping his title to Santos anytime soon, but Santos definitely will win the U.S. Championship sometime in the future.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
I feel like all the heels. I feel like those heels that say that they want to win a championship but they don't. They end up losing to the baby faces. I feel like the heels end up winning the championship when they end up being faces. So like Santos Escobar, the next time he wins a championship is, let's say Santos is a babyface when he wins the championship. Imagine.
Nah. He's definitely a lot better as a heel than he is as a face anyway, because people like
Because
him.
we've seen
I think
I
in
mean,
NXT he was a good
I
heel.
mean,
So
we've seen Roman Reigns hold on to a championship for 4 years being a heel. And then finally, without a title, he's a babyface. So you can go either way. You can either hold on to a championship while being a heel, or you can hold on to a championship while being a face. So it's just crazy. So look at Damon Priest. We'll say that Damon Priest was a tweener when he was champion, but now he's a babyface. It seems like a lot of heels are babyface. They don't have the championship, but we'll see what happens. Cody Rhodes, he's the biggest face on SmackDown and he has a championship. So you never know. So Santos Escobar can win a championship when he's a face. So we have to see what happens. But talking about this Andrade and Santos match, I'm not going to talk too much about it due to time. Carmella Hayes actually got involved in this match. You know, there's a grudge against Andrade and Carmella Hayes. There's a non-stop rivalry between these two. Carmella Hayes didn't cost LA Knight once but twice in this match with a referee being distracted. But then Santos Escobar on that second distraction. By the way, Andrade hit a huge avalanche poison Frankensteiner that was pretty good, and avalanche it was a really good power bomb. But the second interference by Carmelo Hayes, Santos took advantage with a schoolboy pin, and Santos Escobar actually cheated because he had his hands on Andrade's tights. You cannot do that. So then Santos Escobar gets the cheeky win to become the number one contender to the United States Championship. So cheeky win by Santos Escobar. He cheated basically, but it is what it is. Referee decision. It's going to be Santos Escobar versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. They might book it on an episode on Friday Night Smackdown. But if I was Triple H, if I want that, huge crowd pop, I would book Santos Escobar and LA Knight at Berlin. So we have to see what happens. So what are your thoughts on this match and Santos Escobar becoming number one contender?
I'd say like we said, Santos Escobar definitely deserves the win. But to cheat to win, I mean, he's a heel now. Heels will do anything they can to win.
Like
and he
Logan?
obviously won. He obviously won any way he could. He cheated because that's the way he can win. Just like Logan Paul cheated with his brass knuckles. He cheated to win. He tried to knock out a neck. But honestly, it's the wrestling business. What else can you expect with somebody doing a low blow to cheat? And it could have gone either way because had not Carmelo Hayes been involved, and Carmelo Hayes is involved, and Carmelo Hayes costing Andrade the chance to win it, to become the number one contender. Obviously, I'd like to know. I would definitely like to pay more attention to Carmelo Hayes and Andrade's feud because I'm pretty sure if Carmelo Hayes is in some sort of match, Andrade is going to come in and cost him a match now, which is going to be interesting. So both these guys, they definitely need pushes, so they're pushing each other forward, and that's great to see.
I could see a tag team match. I feel like it's going to be a great tag team match. I feel like I would like to see a tag team match of LA Knight and Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes and Santos. What do you think of that?
I mean, I think that would be wonderful. I think that would be a really
Two guys
interesting
feuding with this tagging and then facing two guys that they hate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can definitely have that match sometime.
I believe
how
LA
matches
Knight
progress.
and Andrade has teamed up before actually. So
Yeah, if we have, it'll be great to have a tag team match with Andrade and Hayes versus LA Knight and I'm sorry, Andrade and Knight versus LA Knight versus Hayes and
Santos.
uh, and Santos. I mean, that would be great. We could have that probably 2 weeks from now before Dash in Berlin. So that would be great.
All right, so moving on to the next match. I mean, this is the last match, but there's a main event segment. So we have an actual main event segment that's after this match. So this is the main event. I'll say this is the main event match, which is the last match of Friday Night Smackdown. It is the second WWE Tag Team Championship number one contenders qualifying match. Like I said earlier, DIY of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus Pretty Deadly of Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. So this was a great match. It went back and forth. Kit Wilson and Elton Price. Look, I despise them, but look, I'll say this once or twice. I don't like them. I just think that they're a weird. I just feel like they're a weird tag team. Their entrance is really weird. Like, are you coming out of a ballerina dance or something? Like, what the hell are you doing? But I despise Pretty Deadly. But look, I just feel like they should need a push. I hate them, but they need a push. Like, it's great that they're in this match, but I just don't see them as a tag team. But they definitely need a push from Triple H. But it was just too easy for DIY. DIY is actually trying to win. DIY could set up a rematch against the Bloodline, but whoever faces the Bloodline, I feel like they're going to get their butts kicked. So DIY could set up a rematch. DIY with the meet in the middle on Elton Price to win. We're going to probably get DIY versus who won earlier? I forgot. Excuse me. DIY versus the Street Profits. Winner will face the Bloodline, I believe, unless there's multiple matches. But DIY wins to qualify for the WWE Tag Team Championship #1 contenders. So I believe we're gonna have Street Profits versus DIY. That's gonna be a face versus a face. That's gonna be a hell of a match. So what are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be interesting to see. Um, yeah, I think I get it too with Pretty Deadly. Um, as much as you despise them, I think that there's something that could be worked out there. If they're pushed more as a heel group, and they're pushed more that people don't like them a lot, and like people really don't like them, they could really be a really good heel faction in the future. If they're pushed properly, but they're not really utilized very effectively, and they're more like comic props. And these guys, I don't know the extent of how good they are, but I definitely think that they could actually be better than what they are. As a group, for them to face DIY, of course, DIY is going to get the win because DIY wants to get their championships back, and they did lose to the Bloodline, so they're going to want to get there. They have an opportunity now to go to confront the Bloodline and get the championship back because Jacob Fatu is not there. Jacob, because right now the bloodline is looking a little bit um, exposed. So DIY can definitely take them on and win the championships back, but they have to get through the Street Profits first. And the Street Profits push the bloodline to they push Tongalo and Tamatanga, and they push them to the limit. So they could have won, and they definitely have the opportunity to do that. So it's going to be an interesting matchup to see which group is going to be the better group that's going to be taking down the bloodline.
All right. By the way, the Pretty Deadly had a segment with Tiffany Stratton, and people online were like, "Oh, Pretty Deadly should be make a faction with Tiffany Stratton," and I was like, so, but I was like, Tiffany should just join Grayson Waller and Austin Theory because Tiffany actually doesn't mind Grayson Waller. They actually tagged many times in NXT. If you guys don't know, Grayson Waller and Tiffany Stratton. So they did a Barbie girl and Kent entrance together. So, so, imagine
Okay.
that. So, but here we are
Uh,
at the main event. The main event is a segment, and the Bloodline, Solo Sokola, Tamatanga, and Lola makes their entrance, and they address the WWE Universe, and he says that Roman Reigns. He tells Roman Reigns that he's the Tribal Chief now, and that he wants it back. He needs to come and get it from him. And Roman Reigns returns on SmackDown, baby. Acknowledge me. Do it, Gene.
huh.
Do it, Knee.
No, no, I'm not doing it.
What? You
I'm
don't
not
like
doing
it?
it.
You're gonna acknowledge
No,
so
no.
you're gonna acknowledge Solo instead of Roman.
I already acknowledged it before.
You're gonna acknowledge. You gotta acknowledge the babyface Roman. At least do that
Okay,
instead
fine.
of.
Here it is. Here it is, right there.
You saw I
Yeah,
meant Solo, right?
yeah. There we go again. One more time.
And Roman is just he has a Roman Reigns has a remix now for his entrance. So basically he comes down, Solo sends his goons to attack him, but then um, Roman goes ham and attacks both. Like Roman doesn't need any help at all. Roman destroyed Tamatanga and Lola with steel steps, and then he started to brawl with Solo, but Roman was able to hit a Superman punch on Solo, and he's fired up. He tries to go for the spear, but then Tonga Lola pulls Solo out of the ring. So Roman spies the tribal chief Lee on the mat, but then gets attacked by Tamatanga, and he grabs it, and then they grab it and gives it back to Solo. But then they tried to do the Samoan. They tried to attack Roman, but Roman countered it with two Superman punches, and then a spear on Lola, and then puts Tama for the Timeskeeper barricade, ending with Roman and Solo yelling that, saying that he's the Tribal Chief now, and Roman has to come and get it, ending the segment. So Roman Reigns, welcome back, man. Second time in a row, Roman stands tall, but I feel like next week it's gonna be different. I think, um, and hear me out. I think Jacob Fatu. Look, all these times I said Jacob Fatu might be secretly working with Roman, that he might be a spy. Look, it didn't look so, but come to think of it, I think I might be right. I think that's the whole reason why Jacob Fatu is hurt. I feel like when Jacob Fatu comes back, he's gonna turn on Solo to join on Roman's side. I feel like that could happen, but I don't know. Hopefully, my prediction is right. Oh my god. But I feel like there are rumors saying that Paul Heyman was actually with Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. There's backstage segments, and there's actually a picture of Roman with Paul Heyman. So we might see Paul Heyman return next week. So, what are your thoughts on this last segment of
I think there's so much
SmackDown?
speculation going on right now with Roman's return. Roman return, everybody's cheering for him, everybody's happy to see him. He's there to confront the problem in his family. He's there to address it. And I mean, Jacob Fatu wasn't on tonight. You know, he's recovering from his injury supposedly. Um, you know, Tongaloa and Tamatonga can't take Roman on by themselves. Sola Sokoa, he can't take Roman on right now. So there's a lot there's a lot of speculation going on with what's going to be happening between now and Bash and Berlin and into the future of the Bloodline. You know, there's just a lot of things that are happening, and I think Solo is definitely going to challenge Roman Reigns for the status of Tribal Chief, because Solo definitely had he had the traditional Tribal Chief necklace that he was wearing. When Roman Reigns was going to pick it up, Roman stops, and so Solo definitely is going to be challenging Roman Reigns for the opportunity to win uh, to win the Tribal Chief status, and whoever wins will be the Tribal Chief going forward. So this is going to be interesting, and I would like, I don't, you know, we still haven't seen Jimmy Uso come back. I think Jimmy Uso is going to be I think Jimmy Uso has been cleared, so Jimmy Uso is definitely going to be coming back and attacking Roman. There's been some news online that Jay Uso wants nothing to do with his family's business. However, Jay Uso may be getting himself back involved into the Bloodline business once again, even though he is looking to establish himself and to win his first singles championship that's eluded him for the past 2 years, and he's going to be siding with Rhea Ripley. Um, Sami Zayn probably going to be helping him in the Bloodline business, or helping him with Rhea Ripley against the Judgment Day. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of speculation that's happening between now and Bash England.
All right, so yeah, it's crazy story. So it's just yeah, we just have to see what happens. But anyways, that would do it for Friday Night SmackDown. I hope you guys enjoy. Acknowledge your original tribal chief. He had a new shirt, so this is the old shirt. The Acknowledge Me, 1,000 days celebration when he was champion. But this is Canadian Yorker. I'm Bruin Steel. In terms of grading, I give this a B plus. How about you?
Yep. And can't wait to see what's going to be going on going forward.
What's your rating for this show? Mine's a B plus.
Oh, the rating. My rating is going to be. I'm going to rate it B plus. I think it was good. There's a lot of good things happening, so I hope they continue moving on with good things.
All right, so that would do it, guys. My name is Bruin Steele. This is Canadian Yorker. Be sure to check out Canadian Yorker's YouTube channel. The link will be in the description of this video, as well as our wrestling channel, WWE Wrestling Bros. And my name is Bruin Steele. I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast, and I hope you guys like this shirt I got. I got a second one that I got, but I gotta pick it up. So you guys will see it this week. So this next broadcast, Monday Night Raw. So yeah, see you guys later.
See you later.